okay. It's raining outside. It's really beautiful, but it's also scaring me. Because I don't like storms, do you? Yeah, that's why we're in this now. To keep ourselves safe. What do you think if I tell you I want to read some scary facts on my phone? I think we should totally do it. Yeah. I mean, I know it's scary, but it's fun. That looks really scary. 43 scary facts that will give you nightmares. Well, don't worry about sleeping tonight. Because you're staying here, aren't you? Yeah, so we can cuddle to sleep together. If you don't mind. I mean, I would never be able to sleep tonight if I read all these. I know myself. I'm about to read some to you. Running out of air. In 1973, two men were in a small submarine 1,575 feet deep in the ocean. Suddenly there was a malfunction, and water began flooding in, causing the sub to sink. They only had enough oxygen left to survive for 3 days. It took so long for the rescue team to find them that they only had about an hour left to survive. The band trailer. When the movie trailer of The Exorcist was shown to the public in theaters, it was so scary that people were literally run out of the room. Many people began vomiting. They decided to ban that version of the trailer because they didn't think anyone would go to see the movie. Ew, I'm just seeing the picture there. Ooh, do you want to see it? I don't think you would want to. Okay. So, it's like puking. Oh, that's horrible. It's not just allergy season. Everyone has tiny mites living on their eyelashes. How is that possible? I don't believe that. Sorry for telling you that. I know it's gross. These are more funny than... Okay, not the first one, definitely not funny, but some. In the 1970s and 80s, over 100 healthy people suddenly died in their sleep. Their families couldn't explain it. Wes Craven was inspired by this idea, and it helped him to create Nightmare on Elm Street, where the villain finds and kills people in their dreams. Yeah, I've got goosebumps. Well, I wouldn't do this alone, so I'm only doing it because you're with me right now. So, I'm a mouse. I get scared. Easy. Okay, let's see what else we should read. Love Lost. While many people take medications to cope with feelings of despair, certain types of antidepressants have been known to eliminate someone's ability to feel love and compassion. Relationships have been ruined because these pills made their partner fall out of love with them. Well, I didn't know that existed. This one's called Fatty Facials. Queen Elizabeth I had smallpox when she was a child, which left her face full of deep pox scars that resembled little craters. What is craters? As a public figure, she tried just about anything to make her skin look smooth and beautiful. One of the things she did was having servants collect human body fat from people who have been executed. She took the liquefied fat and smeared it all over her face to help fill in the craters. She also did this with eggs when fat wasn't available. What was that sound? In Philadelphia, it's getting hot here, isn't it? I mean, it was bloody cold out there. Guess it's the lights. In Philadelphia, the Mutter Museum is filled with fascinating and disgusting bits of human anatomy that have been preserved. Mutations, tumors, and medical anomalies are full on display. Just don't go if you have a weak stomach. Oh my god. There are like hands and stuff in there. Okay, I don't want to show you the picture. Oh. Okay, let's look for more. This one's called Bite Me. In ancient times, there was a process of making a mellified man. What is a mellified man? Which was essentially making human candy. Do I want to read this? In order to do this, an elderly person volunteered themselves to the process of being binge bathed in honey every day and given only honey to eat. They reached the point where that's all that was left in their digestive system. Then, when they died, they would be covered in honey for 100 years. Their body would snap easily in half and be eaten as rock candy. Eating this candy was a type of medicine which was said to heal broken bones. Next. My light just broke. Couldn't take it. Okay, let me fix it for you. You don't want to be dark there, do you? Oh, what happened to it? I can't seem to get it off. Okay, I did it. Okay, let's carry on from where we stopped, right? That could have been bad. In January of 2017, a 100-foot asteroid nicknamed AG-13 passed by Earth. It was approximately the same distance as the Moon, and just missed hitting our planet. Scientists only saw that it was coming roughly 24 hours before it would have hit Earth. Scientists only saw that it was coming roughly 24 hours. What? 24? That's a very short time. The public did not know about it until it was over. This asteroid would not mean the planet would be destroyed, but it would injure and kill people, so if there was a massive asteroid ready to hit our planet, we wouldn't know until it happens. That is scary. And it's just 1 year ago. I also heard this on the news that the the spaceship, the space studio, what it is called? The something like. Wait, I'm going to check it. I'm going to check it to tell you exactly what it is, because I can't seem to find it. Um, um, okay, I found it. So I heard this on the news very recently that China's first space lab is falling to Earth. Like, this huge space lab is so huge, like so huge, and it could like fall into the Earth. Like, I think it is, like, definitely, because it got out of control in the space. So they're saying that it's gonna fall close to Turkey or Italy or somewhere there, around there, in between there. Or also, I think Chinese people tell that it's to not worry and it's gonna drop to the ocean. Greenhouse gas. In 2016, scientists measured that our air has the most carbon dioxide than has ever been recorded in human history. And it's only going to get worse. Till death do us part. Dr. Karl Tanzler had fallen in love with a woman named Elena, who was one of his patients. When she died, he snuck into her thumb and brought her corpse home. He kept her in the house for 7 years straight as the body rotted away, and he propped her up like a mannequin. He was only caught when someone saw him dancing with the corpse in front of an open window, frozen in time. Madame Tussauds, how was it right? Wax Museum is famous around the world for frighteningly lifelike figures of celebrities, right? What most people don't know is that Madame Tussauds got her start by rushing over to grab severed heads from the guillotine during the French Revolution. She used these heads to practice her waxing process. It's like dead heads. There's also a section of the museum in London called the Chamber of Horrors that recreates gruesome murder scenes that you probably never wanted to see in real life. I'll never look at the same to the Madame Tussauds again. Think, do I know you? Do I know you? Do I? Do you know me? I'm kidding. After a stroke or some sort of brain trauma, some people can develop prosopagnosia, also known as facial agnosia. It is when someone loses the ability to recognize faces. Even if it's your best friend, you would no longer be able to distinguish a face from anything else. It's like when I look at the animals like zebras, many zebras, like it looks like they're all the same. Many people suffering from prosopagnosia won't even recognize themselves when looking in the mirror. Big Brother is watching. In London, there are CCTV cameras almost everywhere in the city. In 2015, there was a total of 422,000 cameras. The idea behind this is that the police want to capture anyone who is committing a crime. At the same time, privacy is virtually non-existent for anyone living in London. I think we already know that, don't we? There's cameras everywhere, so we're being watched. Poveglia, Italy, is considered to be the most haunted island in the world. Thousands of people dying of the plague live there. What's plague? So many bodies are buried that 50% of the soil is made of human bones. 50%. Later on, Napoleon used the island to hide weapons. Then it was used as the site of a mental hospital. Today the island is strictly off limits to the public. Brain food. Do you ever wonder what people did before the invention of cups and bowls? No. In ancient England, people used the tops of hollowed human skulls to drink and eat out of. There's a picture right here, like, do you want to see it? I'm not sure. Yeah. Alien jello. In 1950s, a meteor fell from the sky near Philadelphia. Philadelphia again? Police officers checked out the scene and reported finding purple ooze coming out of the space rock. Nothing bad happened, but it's still very creepy. If it's true, the news story inspired the horror movie The Blob. Have to watch that. Scary, isn't it? It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here too. Don't you think? Yeah. Wow, the rain's getting harder. Scientists have claimed that because of global warming, the entire planet's temperature is going to rise from 2 to 6 degrees Celsius by the year 2100. Wow, that's a lot. This guarantees that the polar ice caps will continue to melt. In 1934, a mountain slide dumped heavy rocks into a lake near a town called Tussauds in Norway. This was a small, remote town that is only accessible by one road. This triggered a 203-foot tsunami. When it hit, Tussauds killed 40 people and injuring 60. This real-life event inspired a horror movie called The Wave. I was thinking of watching a horror movie tonight. Do you want to watch The Wave together after we read these? What's that? Well, no one's in the house, so I don't know. It's just the wind, probably, but yeah, don't worry. No one's in the room. I don't think so. Let's just carry on. The macabre nosebleed cure. During the 1600s to 1700s, when people died on the battlefield, their bodies often just lay there until they rotted away. Their skulls would start to grow as a moss called usnea. People believed that this moss contained the spiritual qualities of the fallen soldiers, so people would gather it up as medicine. Some people ground it up into a powder and snorted it to cure nosebleeds. Were strange things happening in the past? Don't you think so? Massive waves. Again, speaking of tsunamis, the biggest one on Earth, I think, of course Earth, record was 1,720 feet tall and traveled at 100 mph. It hit Lituya Bay in Alaska in 1958. Scientific evidence shows that this area is likely to be hit with another tsunami eventually. That's so scary. It's huge waves. I mean, I live in Cyprus sometimes while I am here right now, and in summers, like, I experience waves, like very huge waves as well, but nothing compared to that. Don't judge a book by its cover. At Harvard University there is a collection of books that were bound in human skin. What? Looks like all the lights fell off now. I'm just holding them. Do you want to go ahead and watch that movie now? Or do you want to go to sleep? Okay, do you want to do that? Yeah, let's go. It was really nice to spend time with you here. I enjoyed telling you those scary facts. We should do that every time it rains.